Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Radix Lap Attack. We are going to be giving the Roblox racing kart a chance to go around our track. We did this earlier in the Gran Turismo Sport variant of this series, so now it's only fair that we give it a shot in this newer version. I've actually had a couple of videos uploaded already showing off my racing kart. It was last month. In case you haven't seen it, it was just a drift I did, which was unintentional. I'm surprised I didn't spin out and lose control. And then the second one, I ended up winning a race against 4 others. Both videos were filmed on the Alsace track, which of course is a fictional location in France. That's actually one of my favorite tracks in this game. I kind of wish I could go to some place like that. Whether it be France, United States, anywhere. I'll tell you, the people that make the tracks in this game, they definitely know what they're doing. There are some real-life tracks I'd like to go see. One time in 2005, I actually passed the Daytona Speedway, but there were no races going on, so naturally there was no point for me to go in there. But maybe I'll go see my very first Daytona 500. Watkins Glen is a lot closer since I live on the East Coast. I'm sure that would be a lot of fun to see as well. I heard Formula 1 used to run there at one point, but they stopped doing that in 1980. Alright. So far we are slightly decreasing speed after going out of the tunnel. I don't know if it's because of wind resistance or something else, but I want to say wind resistance because we were in the tunnel, no wind was blowing. Or it could be sideways. Going a little faster now. One thing's for sure, we are definitely going to slow down when we go up that hill. That's just inevitable. Every car does that. And I know I've mentioned this a few times already in previous videos, but I'd still like to see a different variation of this track where you go on that ramp and onto that bridge there and cross that body of water. I think it'd be pretty cool if they did that. I don't know where that bridge goes, but I think it'd be pretty exciting if they allowed you to do something different instead of being on this long-ass straightaway. I don't get me wrong, this is a fun track, but you know, you have potential to make different variations. You should try and do that. I mean, you've done that for Watkins Glen, Daytona, Kyoto Driving Park, many others. Alright. I didn't want to shift down, but we were losing so much speed, I just had to. I don't know if it made a difference, but we're going downhill now, so our speed will continue going up. Fastest I've ever gone in this kart is 112. Or at least that's what I have the transmission set to. I mean, you could have the transmission set to something else, but with the amount of horsepower you've got, I don't think we'll be going any faster than this. Practically 2.5 minutes have passed by. At this point, most cars are already on or near the first curve. We still have yet to get there. But you know something? Speed's not necessarily something you look for in a racing car like this. You're just here to have fun, especially on tracks with a lot of curves. Like Alsace I mentioned earlier. And the transmission I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure you have it set to a good spot so that you can keep your car shifting into good spots without having to worry about the wheels spinning too much and making yourself lose traction. Oh yeah, the wind is going to the side there. I see it's like 16.5 feet per second. I don't know what the FT/S stands for, but I want to say it's feet per second. Usually when I see the forecast for wind, it tells me it's at like 4 or 5 miles an hour. If you're unlucky enough to have it go 20 miles an hour or faster, I apologize for you. Now that the weather's getting colder, I bet most of you that are watching this will prefer no wind. No wind is usually good. And honestly, I feel like I might have to agree with you. Today the forecast says it's going to get into the 80s, which is unusual for October. But you know, the month is practically getting started, and you may still encounter some warm days here and there, but still, the fact that we're going up to 80? The only time I ever experienced that was last year. 2023 and every other year before that. The highest we would usually get in October was like a 65. Just trying to hold in a sneeze there. But back to what I was saying, 2023 and prior, the warmest day we would get in October is like anywhere in the 60s. Usually around 65, no higher. And in case you're curious, I live on the west side of New Jersey's Herndon County, about 30 miles north of our state capital, Trenton. I can see the Delaware River from my front porch. I mean, granted, I have to walk there at least 50 yards. But, you know, in the summer months, it's a fun place to just swim, relax, cool off. I always like being in the river, especially when it comes to tubing. Get on that tube, let the current take you to wherever you want to go. Slow, but, you know, just like with racing karts, tubing is just something you do to enjoy. It's not necessarily something you do to go fast. And speaking of fast, I'm taking a look at our speedometer. We're going a little higher than I anticipated. Top speed is usually 112, but I see we're going 114 now. I wonder why that is. I mean, I've mentioned in earlier episodes of Route X Lap Attack that you race these cars on the other straightaway, your top speed is slightly lower because I think you might be going up a hill. And here, you're not going up any hill at all. Or maybe you're going downhill. Maybe it's the surface of the asphalt. I could be wrong about the downhill section, because we're going down that steep hill on the first straightaway. We only did 112. Now, as you can see here, we're doing 114. Right, now my ear itches. Hang on. I just hate when that happens to you. You know, you're just enjoying your game, and all of a sudden the part of your body gets itchy and you have to scratch it. Sucks when you have to take your headset off for that. I mean, luckily I was still able to talk, but you know, I wanted to try and avoid that. Almost 7 minutes. We're about to approach the second tunnel. At this rate, I wonder if it'll take us 10 minutes to get to the finish line. Now, if we were doing the Roblox variant of my Camaro, we would definitely set one of the fastest times. Oh, now we're decreasing speed again. You know, you also may have noticed I have a smiley face in the front and on the back there. If it weren't for that smiley face, I'd probably have a number, because that's usually where you put your number. But, you know, because this is supposed to be a Roblox-themed vehicle, I decided to put a smiley face there instead. And on the skirts, I can't show you because I don't have that camera thing where you can move your camera to the side or get a side view. You can do that in Gran Turismo now, but I have the buttons set to other stuff. Like I can set the brake balance, the traction control, and a few other things. But with R3, if you don't feel like changing the course map or any of that other stuff, you could have it to control the camera. Alright, as we pass the satellites, we're about to get towards the second curve. Roblox Kart has gone back up to 114. Gonna stay on the inside line here so that we can spend less time in the curve and get around it faster. Might have better control in the middle or left lanes, but here you want to try and stay as close to the yellow line as possible. I mean, if you can get on the apron, that's good, but you also want to try and let the elevation help you steer. For the Kart, I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, so I'm just trying to hug the yellow line. I'm just glad that the apron's different from most tracks, because usually when you get on it, it's more slippery. The car loses control. Therefore, you end up spinning out with ease. Luckily, that's not the case here. Apron's made out of the same type of concrete as the rest of the track. As you can see, we're still going along fine. No issues are occurring. We're approaching the first tunnel with the finish line. All that's missing is a horn. I want to honk the horn on this thing. And I think it would be cool too if you could upgrade the horsepower. You're only allowed to have it up to 49. But with the small weight on this thing, imagine if you had 100 horsepower, you'd be able to hit 200 with ease. I'm just making a random theorization. You have twice the amount of horsepower. I'd like to think you can go twice as fast. Especially if you make the right adjustments with your transmission. So, we saw there that we got 10 minutes. Wait, no, that's the bus. Where were we? There we are. 10:07. The 10:06, I thought I deleted that because I was trying to record this yesterday, but I forgot to turn on my microphone, so while I was talking, you couldn't hear me. That's why I had the 10:06 there earlier, but since we did a 10:07, we'll just go ahead and delete that. And now we have our 10:06. So thank you for joining me. Hope to see you in the next episode where I'll be driving the Roblox Camaro. Bye-bye.